Hello everybody and welcome to the full review of the Iron Warriors IW-07 leader. Some of you may have seen the quick short that I put up, just having a quick look at it. Today I'm going to have a more in-depth look so we can see exactly what Iron Warriors have delivered. I do love this figure. He is absolutely gorgeous in hand. Now this is, I think it's their third or fourth version of the Transformers Prime. Optimus Prime. I have reviewed the very first one they did, and it was okay. It just felt very kind of Gundam kit-like, and there was no real heft to it. Everything seemed very fragile. And I've spoken to people recently, and they've said that they've got better and better with the products they deliver. So I thought, oh, you know what? It came up on Show Z, and I know they're doing the Bumblebee to go with this very shortly as well. So I thought, you know what? I'll order both. This one came into stock, so I thought, let's get it, let's take a look. And here we have him. There's no way of hiding just how incredible he looks in hand. He's a gorgeous piece. Now, as standard, he doesn't come with the gun attached, he doesn't come with the unmasked head, he doesn't come with the sword attached to his back. That's how I've got him displayed. I've been playing around with him. I haven't actually put the dude down since I got him. He's just a gorgeous, gorgeous piece. The colours are incredible. He really does pop. Fantastic interpretation of the figure. I know it's always easier to make a static kind of action figure that doesn't have to transform so we can get that kind of likeness, but they've done a remarkable job. Let me just cover the extra accessories that he comes with. We do have quite a bundle. You can put a battery in the head there to light up the eyes. That takes a 3-volt CR927 lithium battery. I've got hundreds of batteries, but I do not have that one. I've got loads that I got for Metroplex, and nothing works. Out of the package, you have to put the shoulder tabs on, and you have to put the chest pieces on as well. It's very, very straightforward. They actually say you can use glue to hold these into place permanently. I'd rather I didn't do that. I don't think there's any real need to glue them into place. I'm happy with how they look, just kind of being static. Let's take a look at his Prime head. That's a really, really nice sculpt, isn't it? We get 2 of these cannons. As you'd expect, you unplug the fist, and then these tab in. You put this piece here into the wrist where the fist came out, and then this piece here pegs back in, and that covers off that whole section. We can get a blade in there instead if you choose. Again, just using that same peg hole that we have the fists in. This just slots right in. We do get a kind of green tinted version of the Star Saber that I've got mounted on his back. This one comes with a fist attached, so it's a nice, really strong grip there, and you can bring his arms around and have that held with both hands. That's what we get in terms of accessories. See, we also get the sword that's mounted on his back. That's just being held on by a clip that plugs in the back here, and then this just slides through like so and just slots nicely. But I absolutely adore that maskless sculpt. Really manages to capture the animation model. We do have diecast in here. There's diecast parts. There's some diecast in the legs and on the arms. There's some in the waist there as well. It's kind of mixed in with all the plastic, but it definitely adds more heft to him than what I remember from the previous version. I really hope they do a Megatron like this as well. I know they're doing Bumblebee. But articulation-wise, we have a head that can look up, down, left and right, tilt, side to side. So much range there. We've got, look at that butterfly joint. I see what they mean about the clearance here. Look, it does push the chest section out. So it's on that separate hinge. So it does allow for a lot of room there, but you still have to be careful with unplugging those shoulder panels. We have a rotation in there. We have a pivot up to the side. Again, using this hinge here. There's an upper bicep rotation in there as well. We get double jointed bend on the elbows, bringing those all the way up. We get full rotation and full articulation on those hands. Coming down to the waist, if I move the sword, we can take a look at the articulation on the waist. There's a hinge here. This can come up and down. I can bring that forwards as well. Bring this down, bring these down. There's a waist rotation in there as well. I believe we've got some up and down on the chest there as well. Legs can come forwards, backwards, out to the side. There's an upper thigh rotation in there as well. We've got a nice 1, 2 bend on those knees. Really nice joints. And we've got some pivot on those ankles. Got up and down, and then also an independent motion on that toe as well. That really does come up. Now, I really would like ratchets on this, but at the same time, because we don't have ratchets, we get this really kind of natural stance. We can just edge those legs out and get him in a much more kind of natural pose without the need for clicking beyond that ratchet point. One thing I don't like about ratchets on a figure is if the jump between the teeth is too great, then you get a really kind of unnatural stance. Now, you do have to be mindful. I have scratched my paint here. That was on this thigh section. I had him posed up in kind of a superhero landing, and I chipped that paint. So the paint is somewhat fragile. So just bear that in mind. But look, we can bring those arms all the way around. Look at that. I love how everything kind of works on those separate hinges there. These do pop off far more frequently than I'd like, but man, what a gorgeous looking Prime. Let's compare him to some others. Just grabbed some Primes from the random shelf of Primes. These are the ones that don't really fit in with a lot of the collection, obviously apart from the Muscle Bear, aka 3-0 Prime there, but he's a good height. You know, he's a good size. Doesn't quite have the levels of detail that we would get with the likes of 3-0, but at the same time, he doesn't need it. It's a very kind of simplistic, smooth design. The kind of cherry red they've got on him absolutely pops. It's gorgeous. Here we have what is in essence the Transformers Prime Megatron, the definitive kind of version. So you can see there is a huge height difference there. Their Prime would scale around the waist of this big guy. So I really do hope we get some more. I know they're giving us Bumblebee, and I've ordered Bumblebee, and I just hope they are as good as this guy is. He's a gorgeous figure, highly recommended. He is cheaper than the first run they had of him. He's still not a cheap figure. It's still quite expensive for what is in essence a kind of kit, I guess, a pre-built kit, much like what we would get now from some of the licensed companies. But it's definitely up there and one of my favorite looks for Prime. You just have to be a little bit more careful with this. He still does have that kind of kit-like feel, but they've really kind of solidified him. They've improved the plastic quality, and he is leaps and bounds better than the previous version I had of him. But just be mindful, but I highly recommend him. Highly recommend him. He's a gorgeous piece, and a must really for any Transformers Prime fan. I'll include a link in the description below where he can be purchased. And until next time, for myself and the rest of Collectibles household, thank you all very much for watching. Goodbye.